Good morning, everyone. Look who is joining me for this flow strength session. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have the yang to the yin joining us this morning, which is super exciting. Welcome to the sunrise stretches, Louis.
I am super pumped, nervous, and scared at the same time. I don't think this should be named a stretch because we're doing strength. So yeah, I'm excited. Thank you. It's going to be awesome.
Yay! Thank you for joining. I'm always flying solo um, on these sessions. I've been flying solo for a very long time.
I see Sari's on the comments saying she's excited for this. She's here watching. I don't know if she's
Sorry,
excited for the class or just excited to see me suffer.
well, I did Siri and Jay's 5:30 yesterday, and we had such a laugh because Jay was asking Siri if his legs need to be straight when he goes down to the floor to do a workout, a walkout.
Yeah.
And Siri was saying, yes, you need to have your legs straight. But Jay was like, my legs can't go straight. So I have challenged Jay to join me as well, to join me in one of these flow sessions. So I know why Siri's here. She's coming to check it out.
Nice. But we try to find us. So let us know if you're here, guys. Who is joining us? Swipe in. Let us know who is going to be trying, or if this is your first class with me. If you're having some newbies, I don't want to be the only one.
So actually, Louis, you've done some yoga before. So share a little bit about your flow journey in your training.
Cool, man. So I love yoga. I don't do it as often as I should or I would like to. I used to do it quite regularly. I used to do a lot of like heated yoga. I think it's named Bikram, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I used to do that, which I enjoyed, which was more of like I enjoyed the power classes. Probably got a good sweat. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. It felt so good. It really complements exercising very well. For me, coming from the exercise industry, and obviously understanding that, it really does complement your exercises super well. It allows you to develop better muscle, and it's just so good for you in terms of recovery and rehab. So, like I said, I don't do it as often as I should be. It's really required to do, but I enjoy it. But yeah, I used to do it quite often. Used to do a lot of Bikram classes, and the odd Sunday or Saturday yin. When I'm feeling super stuck, we just finish off that week and just just chill.
It's magical it's almost like sometimes we need someone to give us permission to do nothing. So yeah, those are absolutely those restorative classes for me, like the flow sleep class. That is like my favorite. I'm like, put me on some pillows in a stretch and leave me there for 5 minutes and I'm in heaven.
That's awesome. Yeah, actually what you said is we sometimes need someone to tell us to do nothing, and that's a perfect way to explain the end, because it's literally it is such long whole stretches, just so nice. And to end it off, you just boom on your back, chilling, going into your own space, and just eyes closed and so relaxed. Your soul feels free, man. It's awesome.
Fresh afterwards, absolutely. And good morning, everyone. Natalia says, "Oh wow, this is new. A coach doing flow." Yes. Excited to have Louis here. And I was actually saying to Louis just before we came online, because I always say to you guys, and you guys know, all the instructors and coaches behind the scenes are always just like on, almost like 24/7. And Louis is one of those like super extra overachievers who always gives like 500%, or actually he gives like 1,000%. Always there, ready to help, ready to do, ready to show up, ready to stand in. And so I'm actually glad that you get almost like 30 minutes of flow where hopefully we can slow you down a little bit and maybe stretch you out a little bit. I hope you feel good after this,
I hope
because
so.
you are teaching the 8 a.m.
Yeah, I got to hit straight after, so I look forward to it. I'm going to be a new man sitting on this chair in about exactly 40 minutes. Yeah, but
Or are you?
well, I mean, coming into the session, I'm super stiff, so it's needed. So it's going to be interesting, but exciting at the same time.
And you were saying everything stuff, legs, arms,
Legs,
alles.
arms, back, chest. But I've had a tough day yesterday. One tough week,
Yeah.
exercise-wise, but good.
How many hours have you dedicated to do on Saturday?
I haven't dedicated any hours. I'm leaning in where I'm needed. So I'm instructing 3 classes. I am going to do as many classes as I can on the side. I'm going to be there on site for the 25 hours. So yeah, I'm just going to support where I can and hopefully join John in a few classes to keep him motivated and keep him going. So I think minimum, safe to say, is probably about 6-7 hours. 5 hours. We have to try and do where I can, fit in, just bring the gears. You can look at me as a cheerleader.
I have dedicated 5 hours, and I thought that that was quite a reasonable amount if you look at the bigger picture of 25 hours. But then when I sat with myself, I actually thought, you know what? That's 10 30-minute sessions. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a lot.
It is, but you'll be able to manage it. A space of 25 hours, you can space it out nicely. You don't have to do 10 half-an-hour slots of high-intensity classes. So there's different classes where you can bring it right down, like the flow, which unfortunately you have no option but to do as you are instructing. But
Yay.
and the lists and stuff. But it's going to be epic. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be super cool. We're going to be working with some awesome celebrities, sports stars, and so on. So yeah, we've got a crazy lineup. So it's going to be epic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just so inspiring. Let's say morning, Christy. Morning, beautiful Lorna Percy. So nice to have you here. D. Volkwein, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Zalna Orense, goeiemorgen. Morgen. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always testament to this community, all the fundraisers that we've done since the beginning. How, we're chatting about it in our meeting, the amounts that are coming in are just so generous, and how no one ever holds back. If it's a 50 rand, 100 rand, 1,000 rand, donations that are coming in, it's just absolutely amazing. And that's why we do what we do. We get online and we teach, and we're able to help the individuals that form this community, but also we use this community to kind of share and spread that love. So that's what this 25 hours is about, guys. It's about connecting and spreading the love, sharing the love, and of course, those donations to Gift of the Givers. So if you have not made one today, 50 rand, 100 rand, 80 rand, 200 rand, whatever it is, please hop on there. Every cent counts.
10 rand.
All right.
Rand. Whatever you feel.
Everything.
That's it. If you look at it
100%.
this way, we have about 56,000 members on Jeff Together, and if every single one donates 5 rand, 1 rand even, we will be able to donate a good amount. And we're grateful for anything, guys. We're just grateful to have you with us, to put it the least. But yeah, I mean, anything for us, donation for you would be great. And like Kathleen said, it's going towards a good cause, and we out here to help you, and at the same time help those that are in more need as well. So it'll be absolutely awesome. And thank you for those who have donated.
Absolutely. We are, I mean, you guys are just all so fabulous. Good morning, Flora, Rachel Noble, Marie, goeiemôre, goeiemôre, goeiemôre. Ja, ons het ons Louis hierso, which is very exciting. Good morning, Taryn Perry. We are, of course, in our flow strength session. Last night was flow sleep. Who here this morning have attended the flow sleep session last night? I would love to hear how your sleep was. But Louis starting to stretch out here in preparation for our flow
I
class.
wish I did your flow sleep. I was still working at that time, darling.
No, you should not have been working at that time. So I was saying last week, I have a little reminder on my phone. So I put in the amount of hours that I would like to sleep.
Yeah,
And then obviously I have my morning alarms set. So the night before, 45 minutes before I'm supposed to sleep to get the amount of hours in I need, it
yeah,
says time to start winding down.
yeah. Mine
And
doesn't
when
do
that
that.
put Yeah,
There's,
so when that
there's,
45 minutes goes off, then it's off. Screens off, alles off, chill.
Mine does it too. It reminds me that listen, you need to go to bed now. But I just step aside. Let me just carry on.
You're like,
Okay? Don't
snooze
talk.
that.
Don't talk to me like that. Move.
Yeah, I know. Like I was saying, you are shame, guys. Louis really, he's like such a epic team member. So I feel honored to have Louis here at Flow this morning.
Yeah. Esmerie sê almal hoor
Good morning.
dis wonderlik. Ek het halfpad deur die aand in die slaap geraak. Well done. Glad it helped for you, Esmerie. Good morning.
Oh, that's awesome, Ace Money. This and that's the point. Is if you fall asleep, that's also okay. Missed the sleep class, Christina, but we'll do it tonight. Amazing, isn't that great? And the point of why we have these sessions on catch up. Morning, Barbara, Renata, everyone, welcome. We're about to get going in about 2-3 minutes. We'll wait for our lit crew to pop in here. You won't need any specific props for this session. But of course, like I always mention, you can have a cushion nearby. We are going to be doing a little bit of lunge stuff. So you can have a cushion if you need. And as Louis is doing out of his comfort zone, he's usually got his pumped up kicks on for his workouts. It's barefoot.
You need to
For flow.
ground yourself to the earth. First thing you do in the morning is get out of bed, barefoot, stand outside and ground yourself. Namaste. Namaste right here and stretch myself out.
So absolutely right. And I try to get in a meditation every morning, because if you think about it, going from the brain waves, the frequency that's running when you're sleeping and when you're awake, in between those is kind of a place where we go into our subconscious. And that's really a place where we can process a lot of experiences, trauma, information. So first thing in the morning, when you're coming out of your sleep, is actually a really great time to do a meditation before you go into that awake state. And you actually kind of calibrate yourself and your own energy before you then move into the rest of your day. So Louis, absolutely correct. First thing in the morning, ground yourself. Take a few breaths so that you aren't like kind of floating and manic and frantic when you hit your day.
And that's my routine. I think for me, that's how I get a head start and I get ahead of my day. Is I wake up super early. If I've got a busy day, I might just wake up at 4:45. If not, it's 5 o'clock, and I spend the first half an hour to 40 minutes of the day for myself. And it's not work related, it's self-development, personal development. I'd go for a walk in the promenade. When the beaches were open, I'll be on the beach and I'll sit with music but no distraction. So I'm on airplane mode. I downloaded the night before my podcast I'm going to listen to, and I just chill. And it's my time where I just think and I journal. So if I'm writing my book, whatever I'm thinking, what my plans are, where I need to focus, what I need to develop on. And it really, like for me, it helps a lot. It helps me kind of stay on top of my game and really, continuously working on myself to be better in different aspects, in every aspect where, I feel it's needed. But it's absolutely awesome. And after that session, I do a quick little body weight exercise, whether it's pull-ups, push-ups, handstand push-ups, the works, just to kind of get my body out of a shock state and release those good hormones, endorphins, and yeah, I feel good, ready for the day. And then I do another 7
I
workouts.
mean, yeah, it's like 9 o'clock at night. Well, I think we can definitely take a page out of your book, Louis, and I'm so excited for you to do Coach's Corner with us. Of course, today I will be chatting to Coach Jenna, but I can't wait for you to be on it, Louis, because I think that people are going to have a lot of questions for you. So thank you for being here and thank you for sharing that. It's really inspirational. I think everyone needs that little bit of a push, and sometimes you just don't think of doing something a certain way. And then you hear someone else's kind of tools and their practices and their rituals, and you go, wow, that could actually really work for me. We've got to get started talking about routines, rituals, and it's time to get started. Good morning, Alison. Thank you very much for the congratulations. I'm very excited. We are going to get started. So welcome, everyone. We're going to start standing at the top of your mats. So facing the short edge of your mat. Right at the top of the mat, Louis. Yes. Your feet can be hip distance. Take a little loop, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And just stand for a moment, ground yourself, draw your spine nice and tall, relax your shoulders down, start to connect a little to your core. Draw your thigh muscles up, draw your kneecaps up, and just ground equally through both feet. We're going to take 3 breaths here together just to arrive at our practice. So an inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. An inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. And one more inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. All right. Welcome to everyone who's just joined. Come to stand at the top of your mat. Take a full stretch up. Inhale, look up, and reach up through the side bodies. At the same time, press those feet down. Get a stretch through the rib cage. Get a stretch through the belly. And then look forward. Bend your knees quite a lot. Take your hips back and your arms forward, fold all the way down. Once you're down, you can reach to your opposite elbows and just allow your head to relax all the way down. So just a softening, keep those knees bent. So we allow length through the lower spine, the lower back, and we just soften through the hamstrings. So we're not too worried about opening those hamstrings right now. We want to feel for spreading and broadening through our lower back around that sacrum. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Just allowing yourself to be in this inversion, fully arriving on your mat at your practice. And 1 more breath here. All right. You're going to take a little halfway lift. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands on the floor. You're going to step back for a bent knee downward dog. So again, both knees are going to be super bent. Lift your hips up high. Arms are diagonal. Relax your chest down towards the floor. Relax your head. Yeah, really nice. Keep those knees nice and bent so we prioritize the spine. And then here you're going to start to pedal out the legs. So one leg straightens while the other stays bent, moving the heel down towards the floor. And we're going to get into those calf muscles. We're going to get into the Achilles. We're going to get into the hamstrings. And so just bending and stretching, getting into the backs of those legs. At the same time, I want you breathing. Let's do 2 more to each side. And then see if you can find a little more stillness through the pose. Long spine. Perhaps the heels start to anchor a little more down towards the floor. Bring your feet a little closer to one another. And we're going to float our right leg up towards the ceiling. So now with that right leg up and the hip line level, we're going to open up the back of that left leg a little more. Are you doing all right, Louis?
Yeah. Good.
Good, good. Right leg lowers, left leg lifts up. So we want to continue to take full deep breaths, and you're working towards 2 strong straight legs. All right, left leg to lower. Shuffle your feet a little further back so that you can lift onto the balls of your feet, lift your heels, and propel yourself forward into a plank pose. Crown of the head in line with the tailbone, firm through the thighs. Let's lower our knees for this first round. Hug your elbows in and back as you bring your hips, your belly, your chest to the ground. Untuck your toes so the tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Slide your hands forward and wider of your shoulders. Take a little cobra pose here. So we're going to look forward. Your elbows are just off the mat. Elbows are hugging in. Shoulders down away from the ears and the head is level. We're going to take 2 full breaths here. Fill the lungs and empty the lungs as the breath moves to expand the chest fully. And after that second exhale, lower down. Slide your hands either side of your rib cage. Press up onto all fours. You'll find your downward facing dog again. So now in your second downward dog, perhaps you can feel that the body is already starting to open just slightly more. We'll just take 1 round of breath here. And then we're going to look forward. You can either step 1 foot and the next to the top of your mat, or do a little walk 1 foot at a time until you're all the way at the top of your mat, big toes touching. Take a halfway lift. Hands can come to shins as you really extend the crown of the head forward. Shoulder blades down the back body and the sit bones moving back. Feel the opening through the hamstrings. Relax torso all the way down. Heavy head, heavy arms. Bend your knees and slowly from the bottom up, you're going to start to roll the spine 1 vertebra at a time until you're standing. Loop the shoulders up, back, and down. Next inhale reaches the arms up. And then exhale, fold yourself all the way forward, maybe folding a little deeper this time. Tuck your chin to complete the movement. Take that halfway lift and again bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands on the floor. Step back into your downward facing dog. Full stretch with the arms now. Sink your heart down a little further, but try keep a little connection through the rib cage, those intercostals slightly active and the belly drawing back. Once more, bring your feet a little closer to one another. Grounding through your right leg now. Float left leg up. Point into your left toes, squeeze your left heel to your buttock, and you're going to open that left hip on top of your right hip. So left knee all the way up towards the ceiling. So we're twisting through our spine, we're opening through the front of left thigh, left hip, left side body, and we're opening through the back of our right. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Spread through those palms, spread through the fingers. Nice, level off the hip line and place left foot back down. Anchor into your shape. Second side, float right leg up. Point right toes, squeeze the hamstring heel to buttock. And then open right hip, so right knee up to the ceiling, melt the chest down, strong straight arms, strong left leg, breathe.
Oh, oh, oh.
Are you good, Henry?
Good.
2 more breaths. Well done. Level off your hip line. Right foot down. Shuffle those feet behind you a little further back so you can again rock into a plank pose. All right, you could either take that first variation with the knees down or slow chaturanga, elbows hug in and back. You're lowering yourself all the way down without your knees. Untuck your toes. Again, take your hands forward and wider of your shoulders. Press up into your cobra. This time, perhaps you lift a little higher, elbows up off the mat. Looking forward, the head is level. Shoulders relaxing down away from the ears, and the eyes of the elbows pointing to the opposite corners of the mat. Again, let's take 2 more breaths here. All right, lower yourself back down. Slide your hands back either side of your rib cage. Press up onto your knees. Tuck your toes and find your downward facing dog again. Full stretch. All right, we're going to look forward. Step yourself back to the top of your mat. Take a little halfway lift. And move back into your forward fold. This time I want you to bring your hands to your legs and just take a little rub out the back of your legs. Rubbing out the hamstrings, trying to get some nice stimulation of the circulation into the skin, and also getting the lymph moving a little bit. All right, let's relax the hands down, take a bend in the knees, slowly roll the spine up, and you're going to loop the shoulders up, back, and down. All right, just standing here for a moment. Louis, I think we're getting a little bit of sound feedback from your mic, so I think we might need to switch your mic off, and then you and I will just have a chat after the session.
I'll put it down. I put it down.
All right. No, because I can still hear you. All right. Let's continue. Let's see how that goes. I'm reaching both arms up again, full breath in. And then folding yourself all the way down and tucking your chin. Let's take a halfway lift again. Hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Hips lifting up and back. Full stretch through the spine. And then I want you to this time make your dog a little shorter. Your feet can stay hip distance. We're going to move into what we call a little 3-legged dog, but with our left hand on the floor. Lift your right hand, bring it underneath you to your left hip. So now you're in your twist. If you can, slide that right hand all the way down, perhaps past the left thigh, left calf muscle. Maybe you reach onto that left ankle. Tough one this, especially with those tight hammies. We're going to take 2 full breaths here. Well done. And let's switch. Right hand down, left hand underneath you to right hip. Slide the hand down the outer line of the thigh, the calf muscle, maybe reaching for your ankle. Look in underneath your right armpit. All right, release, left hand forward. Again, slide your feet further back, rock into a plank pose. Knees or not, chaturanga, elbows hug in and back. This time, you could take an upward dog, so the thighs and the hips will stay off the floor, ears will curl back. If you need that cobra pose, take your cobra pose. Through your plank pose, move back into your downward dog. Look forward, step yourself back to the top of your mat. Big toes touching, take a halfway lift. Hands to shins if you need. And back into your forward fold. Bend your knees a lot now, so almost like you can bring your thighs parallel to the floor. Look forward, chair pose, chest lifts and arms lift. Sit a little deeper. Alright, activate a little through the glutes. Try straighten out the arms here. Such a nice pose, Louis. Squeeze the rib cage slightly back. And breathe. Watch that you're not crunching those knees in on one another. Stand all the way up. Reach the arms up. Take a little back bend here. Just stretch out the belly. And then move all the way forward into a forward fold. Tuck your chin. Take a halfway lift, step back, down dog. So every time you step back, I want you to try and remember which foot you're stepping back with so that you can alternate the legs as we move through the practice. We're going to rock into a plank pose. And we're going to find a side plank. Alright, so take your right hand a little forward and rotate it slightly outwards. Roll onto the outer blade of your right foot. And then left arm opens up towards the sky. If this is a little tough, stacking the ankles on one another, then you can place your left foot in front of you or perhaps behind you. You can even place that left foot on the floor. Okay, but otherwise, reaching long, activate through the core, watch for locking out that right elbow. So there's this tiny little micro bend. Your arms are tight, are firm, and you're breathing. All right. If you need to take a break at any time, you take a break. We come back, plank pose. All right. Second side, take the left hand a little out to the left, fingertips pointing outwards. Roll into the outer blade of your left foot. Reach that right arm up. Again, if you need to lower the foot in front or behind you, please feel free to do so. But otherwise, stabilizing through the core, extending through the arms, and trying not to add any pressure or tension in and around the head and the face. Well done. Look down and come back into your plank pose. Lower the knees if you need to. Chaturanga takes you to your cobra or your upward dog. Move back into your downward facing dog. Alright, shuffling those feet tiny bit further back so you're in a medium length downward dog. We're going to rock into a plank pose, but as you do, lift the right foot so you can bring your right knee to your right tricep. Straighten out those arms and then bring your right knee underneath you to touch your left tricep. Bring that right knee back, touch your right tricep. And then take yourself up and back for a three-legged dog. Alright, stay with me. We're going to rock forward, step that right foot through into a nice long lunge. Well done. Come up into a high lunge, so look forward, find your balance. Both hips are facing forward. A little squeeze through that left glute. We'll take a twist to our right, so right arm back, left arm forward. Keep a stabilization through the legs so the spine can move freely. Lower your right arm down, bring it forward and up. And then we're going to go into a warrior 2 pose. So that is your left heel down to the center of your mat. Keep your right knee bent. Yeah, great, Louis. Open your arms. Lunge a little deeper. All right. Reversing your warrior. Lower your left hand down. Flip your right palm up and reach it up and back. Yeah, perfect. Full stretch to that right side of the body. All done. Come back, warrior 2. Triangle pose. So straighten out that right leg. Pull your right hand forward and then bring right hand to right shin, left arm up to the ceiling. Yeah, strong straight legs. You could look up to that left hand. 2 more breaths here. All right, back into your warrior 2. So bend that front knee. It's our transition to move back down to the floor to lunge over that right foot. Step into your plank pose. Again, knees or not, move through a little flow. If these flows become too much, you can go straight into downward dog and just meet us there. Alright, again, make your dog just a little longer. Rock into your plank pose, and as you do, lift your left foot, bring left knee to left tricep. See if you can make contact. Alright, bring your left knee underneath you and see if you can bring your left knee to touch your right tricep. Switch back, left knee, left tricep. Up and back, 3-legged dog. Step that left foot through for a lunge. Look forward, draw the lower belly in. Look up, float your upper body up for your high lunge. Prepare for your warrior 2 pose. So rotate the right heel down to the floor. Open your arms, sink deep into that lunge. Heel to heel alignment. And relax your shoulders. Reverse your warrior, right hand down, right thigh. Left palm flips up. Reach up and back, but even though you're lifting through the torso, don't lift out of your lunge. Keep a nice deep lunge. Well done, torso back up. Triangle pose, straighten out your front leg. Send that left arm forward, the hips to the right. Lower left hand to left shin. Rotate left rib cage underneath right. Reach your right arm up. Perhaps you look up. Firm your right thigh, roll your left sit bone down and in. And then bring the torso back up. Lunge back into that left leg. And windmill the hands back down to the floor, finding your plank pose. If you want to move straight to downward dog, do so. Otherwise, moving through your last little flow here. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, full stretch. Well done, everyone. Lower your knees. Untuck your toes. Bring your big toes to touch. Separate your knees. Sit back into a child's pose. Reach the arms forward. Relax the head down. Settle your breath. Alright, let's come up onto all fours. And then just to kind of release a little through the spine, we'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So your cow pose being your extension, curl your ears back, open the throat. And then the exhale is your rounding, navel to spine, tuck your tailbone down, stretch through the arms. Keep going. Let's do 4 more full rounds like that. Move through the breath and let this be soft, let this be relaxed. You're using this to wind down, slow the heart rate down, lower your temperature. Alright, really don't rush. Finish on your exhale. And when you've finished those 4 rounds, we'll take a puppy dog stretch so your hips stay above your knees. You're going to reach your arms as far forward as you can and start melting the spine down, bringing the head towards the floor. Alright, press firmly into your hands, walk them back. You're going to lie on your back, so any way you need to get there, bring yourself to lie yourself all the way down. Set up your feet in a bridge pose alignment. So your feet are hip distance, heels are pretty much under your knees. Take your hands up overhead, back of the hands resting on the floor behind you. And then press into your feet, take a lift of the hips. So the back line supporting the opening of the front line here. Alright, and then we'll slowly roll the spine down as you do. Bring both arms back overhead, place them either side of the hips. You can walk the feet perhaps a little closer to the hips. 2 options here for our second bridge pose. You're either going to just press into the feet, lift the hips, and just try and get a little further lift here as the shoulder blades move towards one another. Or quite a lot tighter, hands are going to reach for the ankles, and you're going to take quite a big opening here. It feels so nice when you get it. That back line really squeezing to open up the front line of the body. Let's take one more breath. And then we'll all lift our heels. Release your arms. Slowly roll the spine down vertebra by vertebra. Bring both knees to chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Keep your left thigh to chest, extend your right leg forward. Open your left arm out to the side, taking a twist, guide your left knee over to the right. So right hand to left knee. You can look to the left if that feels good. Let it be very soft now, so try not to hold any tension, you're just letting your body relax fully. Well done, come back to center. Readjust, rearrange, second side, extend that left leg forward, draw that right knee to chest. And then right arm opens out, left knee guides right knee to the left, taking that twist. Alright, and then let's roll back onto the spine. Hook your thumbs and take a full body stretch. So point your toes forward, reach your arms back. Full stretcher. Try and move as long as you can. Squeeze the rib cage down so you're pressing the spine into the mat. Alright. Release the arms, bend the knees so you can roll onto your left side. And just pause here for a moment. Just let the body be heavy. Let the body feel relaxed. Open your eyes if they're closed and press yourself up into a seat. You can't sit cross-legged. Legs can be out in front of you. Place your hands down on your thighs and close your eyes. As we started, we'll close with 3 deep breaths together. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. And last one, inhale through the nose, bring yourself present. And exhale, let it all go. You can open your eyes when you're ready. And to everyone catching up, thank you for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed that practice. If you loved it, write down the date so you can remember to come back to it at any time. Remembering you can pair your strength flow with a stretch or a sleep flow, or with any of the other workouts, runs, or walks. To everyone here live, thank you for joining us. And an extra special big thank you to Louis for joining us. Louis, how was that? You are on mute, I think. I can't hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there
That was
you
epic. That
There
was
we go.
epic. Tough to get back. I think the most strenuous part of that exercise was my wrist. So it's obviously it's beginner's niggle. But obviously it's a testament that I don't stretch the wrists as often as I should. But wow, power class, absolutely loved it. Nice little focus on the core and shoulders, tricep area, which was for me was very nice. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, I didn't actually have to look at you, and it was good. I could listen to you and just flow, which was nice. So thank you for that.
Yay, that's such a pleasure. And I'm really glad that you brought up, you've got a well done, Louis, from Lydia Jones, Louis.
Thanks so
And
much.
you've got from Lorna says, well done. Zalna, good job, Louis. Rachel Noble, thanks, Kathleen and Louis. Amazing, guys. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. I'm glad that you mentioned wrist, Louis, because I think that is a very common, I wanted to call it issue, but that's something that comes up a lot with yoga practice. And I think with any kind of planking and those kinds of things. And so what I would like you guys to have and you can actually have a look at it with me if you like. If you had to hold your hand out in front of you and flex your or extend your wrists open, you would notice that the angle between hand and forearm is not at a 90 degrees, right? If you looked at your hands, all right? So most things we do shortens the inside of the wrist. So it's driving, it's holding a phone, it's cooking, etc., etc. And we take that then, and for instance, I'll just press down here, and we try and put weight on it and bring that wrist into a 90 degrees in a plank pose. Yes, there's going to be a lot of discomfort. You're putting full pressure on a joint, on tendons and ligaments that are not open enough to actually hold and support that. So it's practice, it's opening the body, and a great variation for that, a little tricky when the flow is a little faster, but is to go onto your forearms. So for instance, doing the side plank that we were doing today, variation, which I probably should have mentioned, so that's my bad, is to go onto your forearm instead of being on the wrist.
Cool.
Yeah,
And how
until
important,
your wrists are open enough.
yeah, cool. And then how important would you say breathing is through poses? Would you say that it helps alleviate stress in that areas, or
I mean, absolutely. You can imagine if you're not breathing, your body almost goes into like a tiny little state of shock if it's not receiving oxygen, and you're asking it to work really hard. So
Yeah.
you have to breathe, and um, the focus and the control of the breath is what keeps us calm. It keeps our nervous systems calm, and that
Yeah.
helps to keep the mind calm, and to keep you focused and present.
That's epic. Well, thanks, Kath. I really appreciate the class. It was
Thank you,
epic.
Louis.
I'm going
Thank
to
you
be back
so much
once
for
we meet.
joining.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
I think so. I think so. That was awesome. You
Yeah.
can hop off if you need to. I know you need to prep for your next session.
Yeah.
Everyone, if you have not done your hits yet, you're doing 8 a.m. with Louis.